in order for me to explain to you this proud papa moment I had, I have to go back. I mean, I've got to go way back. This was before Kari was born. So you're talking 20 years ago? 1996, maybe? I was dating a young lady named Janelle, who is Kari's biological mother. And I was sneaking her in and out of the house in my father's place. And I thought I was being clever, but my father was well aware. He knew. And once we finally got everything out in the open, I remember him saying to me, everybody gets one. And it's like, what do you mean? It's like, you have one time to come to me and say, but Dad, I love her and I will support you. I was like, wow, that's deep. I never really considered, what that would mean to have the full support of a parent for something that you thought was important. I was like, it never occurred to me that it would be that simple. And I hope I'm using that word in the right context. Hastily, I cashed in that card on a woman who didn't deserve it. I went to him and I said, but Dad, I love her. And he gave me his full support. He did his best to help me with Kari. He didn't necessarily agree with Janelle. He didn't like Janelle, and that was fine. But as it turns out, he was absolutely right. My mother was the same way. She couldn't stand Janelle. Oh my God. Like, my mother couldn't stand her. And I can look back now, hindsight, oh my God, how did I miss the signs? But that moment stuck out to me. I will always remember that moment when my father said, you have my full support, period. I mean, he didn't even agree with me. And I think that's what made it even more special to me, that I meant enough to him that he would say, you have my support, even if I don't agree with you. So tonight, my son came to me with a request for his girlfriend. This is 20 years later, man. 20 years later. And he was just like, I need a favor from you. Here are the things that I need to do for my girlfriend. Can you help me out? So I paraphrased, but I gave him the same speech. It was like, everybody gets one. Are you cashing yours in? You get to say, but Dad, I love her. And the world stops, and I will support you 100%. And he said, yeah, this is it. There's no better time. This is it. Okay. Like, I don't know how much full disclosure I want to give you, but that's... Alright, here we go. Full disclosure. I'll give you all of it. Last summer, he had decided that he wanted to pursue something with Asia's little sister. And Mike is a beautiful girl. Don't get me wrong. Mike is a beautiful, beautiful girl. And her mother nipped that in the bud real quick. She was like, oh no. Another Harris man will not be sticking his penis in one of my kids. So that got cut down real quick. And he was a little bummed about it. Like, I know he was more serious about Micah than he wants to let on, and that's fine. But he was really down about that. So enter Samantha, and they're getting along really well. But there was always a part of me that said to myself, I think him and Micah would be really good together. I think Micah is a germaphobe, for one. So he would loosen her up to not be so uptight when it comes to that kind of thing. And she would give him a discipline and stability that I felt like he needed. So I was secretly rooting for them. As the kids would say, I shipped them. And it just was not to be for them. But now, and I don't even do it on purpose. Sometimes I'll just be in the living room doing something, and in the distance, I can hear Kari talking to her on the phone or on the computer, or however they converse. Like they're having a conversation, and I think Sam gets him on levels that Micah never would. Like I think Samantha understands Kari, and Kari understands her because they've been friends for years. Like the story. One day, Kari will have to sit down and tell the story. There's a long, sordid history there. They've been friends for a long time, and there was a period of time when they just didn't talk, and it wasn't like they fell out. They just stopped talking for a while. But then when they started talking again, they were like, "Wow, I guess we've been talking a lot." And I'm sitting on the phone with you at 5 o'clock in the morning, just chatting. Like, "Are we together?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess we're together." And they just have been ever since. I think Sam is good for him. It gives him goals. It gives him a stability. Like, never underestimate what having somebody on your team will do for you. And Samantha is that for him. And I'm very, very happy for him. Like, as a hopeless romantic, I love love. I love what love means. I love what love stands for. I'm a big proponent of marriage. Like, I believe in that level of commitment. So to see my son commit himself to someone is a beautiful thing to me. I think in that regard, Sam is better for Kari than Micah. It hurts me to say that, kind of. I had such high hopes for Kari and Micah, but Sam is good for him. I mean that. Like, she's got her own issues and own struggles, which are not my place to discuss. But they're good together. And I like that. Like, they mesh. It's important that you mesh, and they mesh. They get each other. So today, to have the opportunity for my son to come to me and say, "But Dad, I love her," I was happy. I was happy to be able to do that. It's a big deal for me. Now, hopefully he doesn't waste it the way I wasted mine, because, oh my God, I squandered mine. Oh man, to have had that level of support when I was dealing with Asia would have been monumental and would have helped leaps and bounds to get us to where we were going. But sadly, I wasted it on Janelle. Hopefully my son doesn't look back in 5 years, 10 years and go, "Shouldn't have used it on her. Shouldn't have wasted it." But as of right now, at this moment, to him it's the greatest idea. And I'm happy to help. Like, that's a pay it forward, full circle moment. My father did it for me. Now I'm doing it for my son. That's awesome. That's really awesome to me. Like, I don't smile often. Write this down. This is a moment. I just smiled again. I'm very happy for my son. And I'm excited to not only be a part of where he's going, but to see where he's going. Full support all around. Whatever it is he do, all his endeavors, whether they be a financial support or a psychological support or just a physical support. You just need somebody backing you up. I'm very happy for my son. Let's see where it goes.